And this morning, we are taking a closer look at the efforts here in Colorado to help in the fight against the opioid overdose epidemic.
Yeah, there are preliminary numbers from the CDC that are actually pretty promising. It's showing more than a 26% decrease in overdose deaths involving opioids in Colorado. That number dropped even more for overdose deaths involving fully synthetic opioids. We're talking about things like fentanyl dropping by about 32%. A big part of the change in Colorado has been all of the resources, the treatment, prevention, and resources, especially over the last couple of years.
Yeah, and Denver 7's Allie Ginnerjohn joins us now live. Good morning, Allie. And gateway to the Rockies Opioid Council, they are working with the groups that do just that.
Yeah, they made a big announcement yesterday. 10 groups just learned that their applications from back in February are now entering into a contract. Altogether, they'll get a share of $11.2 million. These are the 10 awardees. They're on your screen, including Denver Recovery Group, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, and Monarch Recovery Services. The money is awarded through Gateway to the Rockies Opioid Council, or GROC, and comes from a series of lawsuits against opioid manufacturers. GROC program manager Dr. Chelsea Shore-Miller says all 50 states will split $45 billion over 18 years. Here in Colorado, she represents Region 10 and says they're eager to get money out into the community. GROC chose to fund organizations whose work aligns with goals like addiction recovery, treatment, and prevention. To make sure the funding is used to help the community, she says they'll collect data through each funded group to understand the gaps and needs in the region. Now, this is actually their second grant cycle. 2 of the groups are renewed and 8 others are new to their funding. I asked Shore-Miller if they had tangible impacts from the first round, but she calls the first grant cycle a bit of a mess, telling me the 4 grantees in that round didn't have proper support to really get their projects implemented. So then I asked, how are they doing it better this time?
All of our grantees will have quarterly learning forums. So they'll be able to meet with me for an hour to 2 hours every quarter, talk about the implementation of their project, where they need to do troubleshooting. There'll be a networking opportunity so that they can build off of each other's services and send referrals, creating a true ecosystem of care for people either suffering addiction or seeking recovery from addiction.
Now, this is one settlement in a slew of them. Anusha, I know that you follow this story or types of stories like these frequently. There was actually another settlement you talked about just weeks ago, more money coming to the state.
Yeah, and I think it's really important that you asked about following that money through, because that Purdue settlement with the Sackler family was a historic one. It was about $7.4 billion across the U.S. That's $75 million for Colorado over the next 15 years. And it is meant to do exactly what these groups are doing, is towards resources and treatment, which is then playing into those dropping numbers, but is also very important to make sure that those dollars are being used the way that they're allocated. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, that was a good question. Thank you so much for that.